Mrs. Whitney. Oh, damn it.
What's wrong?
I thought you were raving. She ran out of the house about a half an hour ago before I could stop her.
Oh, my God, Spencer, how could you let her do that?
What'd you expect me to do? Knock her down? Tie her up? It was Smiley's idea. He told me to show Mrs. Whitney that tape, the one with the television reporter announcing the grand jury's decision.
But we had planned to show it to her anyway.
I know we planned to do that. What we didn't plan on was her reaction to the news.
What was it?
She decided she had to speak with the district attorney in person. She grabbed her coat and ran out.
If she talks to Mike Carr, she'll know the truth. She'll know this whole thing is a fake, and we are in big trouble.
Mr. Endicott? Excuse me. Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Carr. I'm so pleased you could come.
Thank you.
You don't know how often I've meant to ask you to come and visit with us.
It's a pleasure, Mr. Endicott. Actually, we received an invitation to the opening of your daughter's gallery, but unfortunately, we weren't in town at the time.
Oh.
Yes, we've been looking forward to this evening.
And so have I.
Mr. Endicott, would you know if the Kavanaughs have arrived yet?
I haven't seen them. Let me go find out. Meanwhile, Mr. and Mrs. Forsyth, Mr. and Mrs. Carr.
Hello.
Excuse me.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. Well, we meet again.
Hello, what a lovely home you have. This is my sister, Jody.
I feel as if I've already met you.
Oh, you must mean because of the painting.
And this is her friend Gavin Wiley.
Of course, the choreographer.
Well, I haven't done much of that lately, Mr. Endicott, but thank you for remembering.
Your friends, the Carrs, have just arrived, and my daughter's most anxious to meet your sister. Let me tell them you're here.
Fabulous. I've always wanted to see what it was like inside.
I know it. I cannot believe some of the paintings on these walls. I swear there's a Renoir out there in the hallway.
Well, Dwight Endicott's supposed to have the finest art collection in the state.
Well, Nicole ought to be able to tell us. She interviewed him once for WMON.
Well, he seems very nice. You know, he's much younger than I thought he'd be.
Money helps you stay young, which means I'll probably age very fast.
It's amazing. This whole house is like an art gallery. I don't think I've seen so many paintings outside of a museum.
Not that you've been to that many museums.
Don't give me away. The Endicotts find out how uncultured I am, they'll throw me out.
I doubt that. I get the distinct impression that you're practically the guest of honor around here.
Really?
Yes.
Well, Nicole's exaggerating a little bit, but there's something to it. I don't think any of the five of us would have been asked here for work for Jody.
That's ridiculous. Why would they care about me?
Modest, isn't she?
Nicole, what were you saying about a portrait of Jody?
Oh, no, it's not of her, but it is of someone who looks an awful lot like her.
Yeah, we took it to the Endicott Gallery this morning, see if they could help us identify who painted it or what the period was, anything at all.
Where did you get it?
Well, it was with my mother's belongings, and at first I thought it was her picture, but it's much too antique.
Well, if you ask me, that's the reason why the Endicotts are so interested in Jody. They obviously realize that it is a long-lost Rembrandt worth at least $60 million.
Not a bad theory, Gavin. If you ever want a job in the DA's office.
Right now, Mr. Carr, I take a job in any office.
Well, did you know that Mr. Endicott knew Gavin was a choreographer? I thought that was very nice.
Well, I would imagine he's a patron of all the arts, but his preference seems to be in pictures and sculpture.
Yeah, and he got good taste, too, don't he?
Not to mention
There
money.
you are. Hey, how are you? It's lovely to see you. What a nice place.
Miles, nice to see you.
You know Nancy and Mike Carr?
Hello,
Yes.
Hello.
Nice
Nice to meet you.
do?
And this is Gavin Wiley.
Gavin.
Pleasure.
And this is my sister, Jody.
Hi, Jody. I'm so pleased you could all come tonight. Jody, that's a lovely necklace.
Oh, thank you.
Now, you tell me, why does that look so familiar?
Probably because you saw the painting this morning.
The lady in the portrait is wearing a cameo very much like that. Jody just saw this in an antique store this afternoon.
Actually, I saw it, but she insisted on having it.
Well, I don't blame you, Jody. It's lovely.
Well, if you look like the woman on the portrait and have the same jewelry, that makes the resemblance complete, doesn't it?
I hope you all don't mind. I'm going to corner Jody for just a second. Excuse me. Oh, Jody, I really want to talk to you about the painting. Do you realize that I'm an art dealer?
Oh, well, I know you have your own gallery.
Uh-huh. And we know all sorts of experts. So if you want me to find out more about the painting, I'd be happy to.
Well, sounds like a good offer.
We'll have to hold it for a few days, but you don't need to be afraid of it being lost or stolen.
Oh, no, I'm sure it would be all right.
I can also get an appraisal of the value for you. Who knows, you might make a great deal of money from the painting. Then you could buy a lot more pretty jewelry.
Well, I don't think I want to sell the painting.
I'm sure there is some sentimental value there, but the monetary value might be even higher. Oh, okay. Listen, we don't need to decide that now. We'll just get the picture appraised first.
I guess I don't see any harm in that.
No harm at all. Oh, listen, you have no drink. Just a second, let me get a waiter. Joe, would you bring Jody Travis a glass of champagne, please? Cindy, a glass of champagne, please, in the other room.
We've been waiting for you for over half an hour. Where have you been?
Game up. I'm not sure I can make it at all.
You've got to make it. It was
It was you that decided on this dinner date in the first place.
I know that.
Spencer, if you disappoint Sky now, you'll be jeopardizing this entire enterprise. For the first time since he came to Monticello, we have something tangible.
All right. I'll be there as soon as I can, Libby.
That's too vague.
I'm leaving right now, all right? I have to go.
You can't leave me here alone. What if she brings back my car or the police?
I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that, Nora.
I am not facing this alone. If you go, I go too.
Do what you like. The saying is every man for himself. I'm sure that applies to you too, Nora.
Spencer!
I go all the way to Paris to see my car, and guess what, Nora?
What?
He's not there. Those two are homebodies, and tonight he goes out.
Well, what happened?
Didn't Spencer tell you?
No.
It was on tonight's television news. I've been indicted.
I didn't hear. That is awful.
First-degree murder. They think that I deliberately shot somebody, and that means life imprisonment. So I go over to see my car because I can't believe that he could possibly believe that. I mean, he's known me for a long time. And he's known that I've done some things, but not cold-blooded murder. And so I go to his house and he's not there. And
Maybe you should call your lawyer. I don't think you should talk to anybody before you talk to him.
His number is unlisted. He told me it was unlisted. He didn't tell me what it was, and I'm scared.
Please, calm down. Sit down and relax.
So the grand jury believed Lance Halliday. And if the grand jury believes him, that means that the jury is going to...
You don't know that yet.
The judge believed him at the hearing. Why do you think we had the grand jury in the first place? Why did he do this? That's what I don't understand. Why? What was in it for him?
Well, he did get rid of his girlfriend, didn't he? Without getting in trouble himself.
That's exactly what that hooker in jail told me. She said that it was a frame-up. So now what am I going to do? Oh, God, now they're coming to get me.
All right, now listen, relax. I'll take care of everything.
Where is Spencer? Why isn't Spencer here?
He went out to dinner.
Good evening. Mrs. Whitney, please.
Yes, she's here.
Mrs. Whitney.
I'm so glad you're here. I thought you were never going to come.
I'm sorry. I was going to come in earlier, but I just found out about the grand jury. I'm sorry.
You're sorry, and I'm going to go to prison.
Not necessarily. An indictment doesn't mean imprisonment.
No, it means I'll go to trial. That means I'll go to prison.
There is that possibility. I can't lie to you.
Well, then will you help me? Please?
Anything I can to get this trial dismissed.
You mean there might not be a trial?
Well, there's not a very good chance of that.
I don't want to hear that. Let's just hear some good news.
I appreciate your feelings, but please, we've got to face the issues.
I can't believe you lawyers. You're all the same. All you do is make promises and then dumb me, and then you never do anything.
Mrs. Whitney, I'm doing everything I can. These are rather difficult circumstances.
Yeah, right. First, Cliff Nelson tells me that I'm going to get free after the hearing. Then you tell me there's not going to be an indictment. Now you're telling me a bunch of other lies. I'm not stupid, Mr. Matthews. I know. I'm going to go on trial, and I will probably be sent to prison.
That's a long way off, Mrs. Whitney. There's a lot that could happen between now
I
and
know
then.
exactly what's going to happen. I can see it now. Prosecution is going to ruin my reputation because they're going to bring up all these little details in my past.
I'm here to stop that.
The jury will eat it up. They'll invite it to their little jury room and they'll lick their lips and then they're going to say guilty.
Not if we can prove differently.
Maybe the judge will believe me. Maybe I'll get 10 or 20 years instead of life. Oh, God! Then I'll have to have my face lifted!
Raven, there's some things I should tell you.
I think Mrs. Whitney needs to be resting, don't you, Mr. Matthews?
Yes, of course. Good evening, Mrs. Whitney.
Oh, Sky. Why did you leave me? I need you now.
Give me another beer, will you?
Sky, you've got to tell us more about this man Brown.
Like I told you, we met in Zurich. He was being mugged. I decided to get involved, and I jumped in to help him. I guess because I was bored. I was looking for some excitement. That is one thing that Jeff Brown always promised. Excitement. He was always hinting about mysterious secrets, espionage, spying. He even tried to get me to believe that he was in the CIA.
He was lying, of course.
Yeah, I imagine he was just trying to make himself seem more interesting. But he knew everything about me, that's for sure. He knew who I was, he knew how rich I was, even knew when I was going to get my inheritance.
And he met Valerie Bryson at the same time you did.
Yes, that's right. We double dated for a while. Although he didn't really like her friend very much. One thing about I didn't like her either. I can't even remember what her name is now.
There's one other point that Libby and I feel sure about.
What's that?
A man could only change his face that drastically by going to a plastic surgeon.
And a very good surgeon. The best one possible.
It just can't be a simple coincidence that Valerie's father was in that profession. Dr. Kenneth Bryson.
Here they are.
We've been looking for you two. Mind if I borrow these young people for a few minutes? Oh, yes.
Gavin, my father was just telling me what a wonderful choreographer you are.
Well, I haven't done anything like that for some time.
Yes, but he really is terrific, and he's a very good stage director.
Oh.
I can see he was your greatest fan, Mr. Wadley.
I'm just sorry there's not any theatrical work in Monticello for him, but if you know of any...
Cut it out.
Well, I don't know of any job opportunities, but I did think you might like a chance to look at one of our loveliest paintings. I think it's Renoir, and it's my father's study.
Well, yeah, I think you'd like to look at that.
Oh, no. I want Miss Travis to myself. I have a little puzzle. Now there. What do you think of that?
What is it?
That's what you're supposed to figure out. I like to give it as a little test to all people who've never been here before. If you can come even close, I'll have a lovely prize for you. Now take your time. I'll be back.
Hi.
Hello.
Seeing you again.
Excuse me. I've never seen you before in my life.
What? Oh, I get it. You're with somebody, and you don't want him to know about us. About that, is a rendezvous in Paris? Gondola ride in Venice? That even like to walk along the Ganges.
No, I've never been to that country. I think you have the wrong girl.
You can pretend it never happened. I'll just live on my memories. Thank you. So beautiful.
I'm sorry, but your memory must be pretty bad. In fact, I bet you don't even know my name.
Looking at you, I can hardly remember my own name.
Try anyway.
I think it's Chad. Yes, that's it. Chad something. Oh, God, what's happening to me? I can't think straight. My pulse is racing. I think I need a doctor.
Oh, a doctor? Well, my brother-in-law is a doctor, and he happens to be at this party.
You can cure me yourself. Just say you remember me.
Just say I remember you.
Yes.
Well, Chad? Chad.
Yeah.
All right. What do I say? It was such a long time ago. Paris and Venice.
Yes.
And a moonlight on the Ganges. Where that is.
India. I think.
Excuse me, I've got to go find my friend.
Oh, wait a minute. You haven't told me your name.
Well, if you'd probably only forget it with your bad memory.
You're wrong. I think I'm going to remember you for the rest of my life.
Goodbye, Chad. Something.
Oh, you better remember me too. Because one of these days,